Okay, I started to write this about 2.5, maybe 3 years ago, but could never finish it. This was after my brother had passed. We were very close. When I started to write this, my son was still alive. This is why some parts sound as if he is still here, and actually he really is. This is a never-ending writing because each and every one of us can think of at least 10 things that make us weep, wail, and moan. There are words in our vocabulary that are very intense in their meaning. They are used to express deep sorrow, pain, and suffering. Sometimes the pain are so deep, they pull at your heart literally until we really just have to stop and breathe. These are the 3 words: to weep, to show grief or joy, or a strong emotion by shedding tears; to wail, to make a long mournful cry, especially as an expression of grief or pain; and to moan, a low mournful sound usually expressing grief and a gut deep wrenching pain of sorrow. These are the 3 very powerful words that mean so much more than just crying or sadness. Please, just sit back and let me take you on a journey of why I weep, wail, and moan. I weep, wail, and I moan. It's what I do when I think about the homeless people on the street, believing that the concrete jungle is all they have to believe in. I weep, wail, and moan for the children who think this is just part of life. This really makes me weep and wail. I weep, wail, and moan for the young troops in Iraq that are fighting an endless war. I have a niece and nephew there. God brought them home safely. Please, God, keep all the faces of hope in your loving arms. No more weeping, wailing, or moaning. I weep, wail, and I moan for the teenage mom whose despair is so overwhelming. She quietly takes her newborn child and places it in a dumpster. I wonder, do you think being educated could have made a difference? Wow. I weep, wail, and I moan for the drug addict who has given up their soul, spirit, body, and sometime their life for the most powerful drug known to mankind, crack cocaine. Oh yes, I said it. Wow. This really makes me weep, wail, and moan over and over again. I wonder, can you really comprehend why I weep, wail, and moan so hard for the children who are victims of child molesters? Oh my God, and are robbed of their precious innocence, sometimes even their lives. Dear God, please help us to protect our precious children from these scums of the earth. I say no more weeping, wailing, or moaning. Dear God, thank you for keeping my now adult children safe. Damon and Shy are my lifelines. And to Pam and Dan, I thank you for sharing in the births of my beautiful grandchildren. You know, I've never owned my own home, and I probably never will, but I have 6 stars that shine in my life continuously. Their names are Danielle, Ebony, Barbara, Jordan, Jason, and Mari, better known as my grandchildren. Please, God, keep them also in your loving arms so I will never have to weep, wail, and moan. Seems like that doesn't seem too much to ask for. I say no more. No more Janju weeds, which means devils on horseback, raping, sodomizing, and murdering the children and women of Darfur, Africa. No more. Last but not least, I weep, wail, and I moan for the mother who is called to a crime scene to find her child on the cold concrete. Can you hear the weeping, wailing, and moaning coming from the depths of this woman's soul as she gazes upon the lifeless body of a child that came from her womb? Well, I do understand, because now this woman is me. Once again, do you hear what I'm saying? This woman is me. Let's just imagine just for a moment how many presidents, doctors, lawyers, astronauts are lost to senseless crimes. Well, one thing is for sure, most of them don't live long enough to become anything. I just wonder, if they knew better, Could they or would they do better? I say no more. Most of these situations can be prevented. In America, no one should be hungry or homeless. If you don't believe me, just ask the government. Every day, someone dies or is murdered. You know, there is a difference. But this time, it is different because they took my gentle giant, not just an ordinary man. And that was a huge mistake. I say no more. No more weeping, wailing, or moaning. My sponge days are very hard. That's when it takes a sponge literally to absorb my tears. No more, no more. Even the days when the silent tears come, but there is no water. That's when you shake from the inside out, but the tears never come. Just trying to breathe is a task at times. No more. Please, dear God, let this darkness in my heart receive just a flicker of light someday soon. I say, I truly say, no more weeping, no more wailing, and no more moaning. No more, no more.